You're good.
All right. Okay, guys, difference of a quotient. So we're going to look at difference of a quotient. So basically, this is f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. You're going to see this more, once you get into calculus, so on and so forth. But right now, what we want to talk about is how it's going to relate. Now, if I take the problem, f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 5. If we take that, the first thing I want to do is find out what f of x plus h is. So here's f of x plus h is x plus h squared plus 4x plus h plus 5. All right? All I'm doing is wherever the x is, I'm putting the x plus h, just like that. So f of x plus h is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 4x plus 4h plus 5. Camera lady, make sure that I got this okay. All right, so that's my f of x plus h. Am I good?
Yeah.
All right, now my minus f of x is equal to negative x squared minus 4x minus 5. Notice that f of x is this. So if I multiply by negative, I basically just distribute the negative to each term. That's all I'm doing. All right? Okay. Now here's the deal. This is the way I do it. I like to line my stuff up exactly. All right? Now, mind you, you could write it out like this and do x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 4x plus 4h plus 5 minus x squared minus 4x minus 5. You can put all these on top of one line, side by side if you like. That's not the way I like it, but whatever. You can do it if you want. And then that would be all over h. But I like my stuff to line up well. I put my x's with the x's, my x squares with the x's, my x's with the x's, and my constants with the constants. So that way I don't have to run back and forth trying to search for stuff. That's how I like to do it. So f of x plus h minus f of x. Well, let's go old school. Take this back to the second grade. X squared minus x squared, 0. My 2xh comes down. My h squared comes down. And my 4h comes down. So I know that f of x plus h minus f of x is equal to 2xh plus h squared plus 4h. There's a line over there. All over h. Okay? All right. Now from this point here, there's two ways to look at this. I could think of this as 2xh over h plus h squared over h plus 4h over h. And when I do this, notice my h's all reduce out. And this becomes 2x plus h plus 4. Just like that. All right? Now the other way to have done this, from this point here...
You can pull the h out.
You're right.
Oh, sorry.
Good job. Now, from this point here, we went this way, or we could simply pull out the 4 by factoring it, or pull out the h by factoring it out. h 2x plus h plus 4 over h. This is the way I would have done it. Notice that this h and this h reduce out, and when that happens, you're going to be left with the 2x plus h plus 4. So that is our difference of the quotient. We take our f of x, figure out what f of x plus h is. As such, notice that x plus h squared becomes x squared plus 2xh plus h squared through foiling. I didn't FOIL it out. I figure by now you know how to FOIL this out, okay? I take the negative f of x. Notice I distribute a negative to each one of these. I line them up so that way I can add them out. They cancel as such. Put them in over the h, and then I take my two ways. I would recommend this way personally, but for whatever reason, in the event you may not have, an h in there or whatever, know that this is doing the same thing. All right? All right, moving on. So,
Stop the tape.
nah, we keep going.
You timing it?
Yeah, you're at 5 minutes.
How much time do I have left?
You're at 5.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. So, we're going to go ahead and do another one for our difference of quotient. F of x is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. All right? So, here we go. My f of x plus h becomes x plus h squared minus 4x plus h minus 5. So I'm going to FOIL this out. Distribute. So this is my f of x plus h. Now, my next step, I need my negative f of x. Well, I'm going to take my f of x and I'm basically just going to change my signs. So this becomes negative x squared. I'm lining up the x squareds with the x squared. Then I move on to the x. This becomes 4x. This becomes plus 5. Notice the same thing. We got the cancellations going. 2xh plus h squared minus 4h. So now we're going to take this, we're going to put it over our h. We're going to divide it by h now. Factor out the h. So for our difference of quotient, we're looking like there. Okay? So on this one, I wanted to emphasize the point that, when this is a negative, we're still going to just distribute this out. Okay? So notice this becomes negative, but unlike last time, we're doing the opposite, so this is positive, as is that. So that's your difference of quotient. I hope you liked it. I hope it made you feel good inside. And I just hope you embrace the mathematics.